And we're live. What's up, Mimi? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Ain't nothing, honey. It's another Monday. I got through it.
You got through it. You got
Got
through it.
through
Listen,
it.
it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I didn't see you Saturday. I got your little dirty message, but I didn't see you Saturday.
I was cracking up. I wasn't even mad. Look, when Brandy came in there, I said, you gave my damn kid. Because he bought the stuff back. I said, I know he said something smart. Brandy cracked up. I already know what that thing to say.
What do you think I said?
Go get his bitch back her stuff. Shit.
That's just what
You
I
know,
said. I said, go
I
take
already know
her
what you
back
say.
because I just left. I said, then why couldn't she come to work on time?
What shit? I was on time for what I had to do. You
Okay.
you got a damn key.
I do have a key, Mimi, and
It's
I've been
okay.
meaning to give you a key.
Let me
To
tell you
my,
something. I really wasn't mad. I said, because I ain't got no. It's only two people that get curls. That it ain't. It's like one come in November and the other one come in the summertime. So I need
what's,
to stop.
what's
I
up,
just want to
Charmaine?
turn.
Charmaine gonna call me
Hey,
Montreal.
Carla.
Hello, Montreal and cousin. What's up, Charmaine? Listen, listen, y'all. So welcome to another night with In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. We are super excited to have you here, and of course, we have a word for tonight. What is the word, Mimi?
Well, since we talking about black or white, so let's say black. Anytime you
Ooh,
hear the word black, you gotta
black.
take
So
a drink.
anytime that you hear the word black tonight, you're gonna take a drink, but we're not gonna start the drinking process yet, okay? So we're giving everybody time to go get your drink and get ready for this conversation. So, Mimi,
Yeah.
how's your day been?
My day was a day.
It was a
It
day.
was trying. It's this. I'm still dealing with the post COVID stuff. Still all these damn doctor's appointments, and then I have this. My doctor is anal in the best possible way though. So after COVID, I went back to her.
He's
She
gay.
sent me to the specialist,
Did you hear
and
me?
it's the hematologist that she sent me
Did
to,
you hear
child.
me?
How would you say?
I said, "Oh, he's gay."
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
because
She's
you
a different
said
one.
I was cracking a joke because you said my doctor's anal in the best way. So I said, "Oh, he's gay."
Oh, oh shit. There this guy.
Go ahead. What's up, Dana? What's up, Kim?
Hey, Diana. So, yeah, hey, Cam. So, I'm at the hematologist, but she's a hematologist slash oncologist. So it's like this heifer got excited when she found out that I used to have cancer. So it's like she trying to give it to me again. I said, this is not the way you drum up business. I'm tired of coming to see you. You done check my blood. I'm good. Let me go.
What's up,
I feel like
Donnell?
the slaves in Amistad. I'm like, give us free. Let me go. I'm
That's how
tired of going to the doctor.
you tired of going to the doctor?
Yes, it's like she want me to have cancer. I'm like, lady, I don't have that, and I done claim that in Jesus' name. I
Carla,
don't.
we pleading the blood. You will not
Yes, and
have
I'm not gonna
cancer.
get it. I'm
You
like, you
showed
have to
not.
get somebody else. This ain't gonna be your patient, sugar.
What you said? That's not gonna be your patient.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be her patient.
Oh wow. So I had a pretty good day. It was pretty. I was busy at work. We've been
Right.
really. What's up, Sandra? We've been really busy. It has slowed down from the way it
Mhm.
was for the last 2 weeks that it was. But
Uh-huh.
today was a pretty peaceful, relaxing day. You know, me and Kim chalked it up at work and we talked a little bit.
Mhm.
So the highlight of my weekends is always coming back on Mondays to hear what everybody else has had going on. What's up, Angela? What is
Okay.
that's been happening throughout the week. So Kim and I usually chalk it up and she'll tell me, I did this and I'll tell her I did this or,
Right.
something popped off or what didn't pop off or whatever. So it was a really cool day. But my weekend was pretty good. I kind of chilled on Sunday. I didn't do anything because my son is
Yeah,
so bad
I
with
did
this
everything on
pollen.
Sunday.
This pollen is killing me. I have not been able to wear my contacts, so I have to have glasses on. You can't see them colored eyes.
They
Another
can
one.
put the glasses on. That's a whole nother situation. It's very cute.
Well, thank you. That's what you told me when I saw you Friday. You said yes. Do it
Yeah,
like you did
because
Friday.
you're giving a whole. It's a whole vibe you're giving with the glasses.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole other. Yeah, it's a whole other thing.
Well, I'll be trying to give it a little bit. My
Child,
son,
I forgot. I almost forgot we was friends and that you was gay on when I saw you. I said that thing looking like a snack.
mm, all
Yeah, look,
right,
yeah.
all right, snack, yes.
But let me tell you about my yesterday, Sunday.
Hmm.
Sunday was off the chain.
It was out
So
the chain.
me and I met this guy, the gay guy, at the Layla Hathaway concert 2 years ago. The last concert, that I went to. And child, we had a ball, so we exchanged numbers and we done kept in touch. So yesterday was the first day we were able to go and have brunch. And child, it turned into a whole day. He done took me to meet all child. I was with the middle aged and gays the first part of the day, and the old gays toward the rest of the day. I had a ball.
You had a boss, so you
I was
your
the only woman. You already know I love that.
your abs are real sore because you laughed the whole entire day.
And I had they ass like child. It was. He said, "Oh, but she was on stage." I said, "That's my element there, honey. You give me an audience. I'm gonna perform."
You're gonna perform. So
Yeah,
listen,
I had a ball now. I really did.
I'm glad that you had a good weekend. I really, really am. Um, so tonight we're talking about black or white. Which one is right? Who do you date? Black or white?
You already know what I
Which
did.
one is right? And so let me tell you how this conversation came about. On
Okay.
Saturday, was it Saturday? It had to be Friday. Friday, there were some young ladies in the salon and we were having a conversation. And I hate to throw her out there. I'm not gonna throw her out there because she didn't tell me if it was
No,
okay.
nigga, that throwing folk out there. Go on. She ain't gonna make
Okay. So I was having a conversation with my girl Deja,
it.
and
Okay.
Deja, as being a transgendered woman, had brought up the issue of dating black men. But there were also some other women that were straight that were there in the salon at the time, and they brought up the same issue of dating black men. A lot of people feel like that there's an issue with dating black men. That's the reason why black women have started dating white men. And so, of course, me being a black man, I had an issue with that. And so here it is, I'm fighting for the black men because I don't understand why people feel the way that they feel. So tonight, I wanted to have a conversation about that. What's right? What's wrong? Is it okay to date a black man, or should we not be dating black men, or should we be dating white men, or how does it work? And to find out what people believe. So Mimi has chosen the word tonight. Tonight's word
Black.
is black. So anytime you hear the word black, you have to take a drink, which is going to be hard. Okay. So Mimi's trying to get y'all toe up tonight. So anyway, so
Why
let's get
not?
back to this conversation. And so with dating a black man, how do you feel about that, Mimi? What do you think? Well, let me ask you the question. Do you think, well, I already know how you're going to answer the question. Dating
Ah,
black or white, which one is right?
well, this the thing. It's what's right for you.
Okay. That's
So
what I was going to expect you to say. So I want to hear
for
more.
me,
Mhm.
for me, because I have the best father on the planet. I revere my father. Like my father walks on water and glows in the dark, and I would think he can fly. I mean, just he can do no wrong.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I'm always going to. I love black men, and especially being the mother of three black sons. It's I love you all in a whole nother way. Even the ones that don't love me back, I love them too. You
Mhm.
know. So for me, black men are the ultimate, and I
Okay.
believe that our men need to be loved up on a lot more. And as black women, we need to be a little more understanding. They need to be more understanding of us, but we need to be a little more understanding of them. And I wasn't privy to that conversation the other day, but black women have, so sometimes our stuff is self-inflicted. Okay.
Mhm.
Every black man ain't bad. It's just the ones that you like. It's some good ones. They just don't come in the package that you want them to come in, you know. But it's some good ones. It's some ones that go to work and come home and pay bills and play with the kids or raise your kids that's not theirs. It's a
Mhm.
lot of good black men out here. But as women, and I'm gonna say this, a lot of times we go for looks. We got that long ass ridiculous list that we ask the Lord for instead of asking for a good man of character, you know, instead of asking for a man that's smart and
Mhm.
that's, is responsible financially, and is kind and compassionate. First thing we say, well, I want them tall. I want six pack abs. I want them to
Mhm.
have dark wavy hair. We start talking about all the physical attributes, and those things you can't. Though that wears off very quickly. If that's all you have. So there are a lot of good black men out here, but women keep going for the same ones, and you keep trying to make the ones that you want to act right. And if they ain't already acting right, you can't make them act right. You got to accept them where they are or leave them where they at.
So I think I totally agree with you. There are some things that I think that we fail to talk about in relationships. I think that women, and having a conversation with several women, because my most of my friend base are females, and I deliberately did not have this conversation with Kim on today because I knew that she was going to watch the show, so I wanted to hear what she had to say later.
Yeah.
But there were several women that I have talked to that have said that Black women have been conditioned to provide for themselves, to be independent women, when they feel like that white women have been taught to be more of a servitude, being more as those women that um, supportive. I want to use the right word. They feel like this one black woman that I spoke to. She said that she felt like that white women had been conditioned to be more as supporters and being submissive and everything. Hey, Joella, she said all that glitters is not gold. Sometimes the true glim is the diamond in the rough. The true gem is the diamond in the rough. I agree with you. And so she was saying that it comes back from our culture. Though the black woman has been taught that from an early age that you have to be independent. You have to be able to get out there and get it because you can't expect people to give it to you. And so she was saying that is part of the reason why black women now are gravitating more toward white men, because white men are, they've been too conditioned to be supportive to their wives or to those that they're dating. So they just choose to, the black women are now choosing to date the white man. And so then I came back with the rebuttal, but black men are taught that you have to get out there and you have to be go-getters as well. And so if you are a go-getter and you're trying to get it, then where's the cheerleader for the black man? Where's then the cheerleader for the black man? Um,
They out there, that's me. That's who I. It's a lot of us out there that love up on y'all regardless.
there
You
are a
know,
lot of there are a lot
yeah.
of black women that I will
And I
say
say
that
it's
do love
more
up
of
on
us
men.
than it is that don't that switch over or because this is the thing, you can't. Character is not a black or white issue. It's just not. It's upbringing. It depends on how you're raised. Now, I will say, with white women and with us, it is a cultural thing because we just now getting to the point where we're getting equal rights across the board. You
Mhm.
know, so we have been taught. We really just been taught to survive. We have overcome so much because a lot of our conditioning comes from, and I know folks don't want that. I'm beating the dead horse again, but it comes from the slavery days.
It does. It
It
does.
does, and that's why you have so many. With and it's not. I'm not gonna say so many because I think that's just what's highlighted because it's a lot of black men that are family men and take care of their children.
Mhm. Mhm.
A lot, and I say more than that. But the ones that everybody focuses on one. Uh, Other ones, because regular slavery days, you had the what they call the big black buck, and they took them from woman to woman to woman, making
Mhm,
of a little baby. So that that
mhm,
that has not stopped. That mentality, a lot of us still have that slave mentality. So that has not stopped. But the problem is with a lot of black women, that big black buck that you like. A lot of times fresh out the halfway house or whatever. And I don't knock no man for trying to get himself together. But some folks use what they have. Folks
mhm,
are still, we as a people are still in survival mode.
mhm,
So if a man, hasn't, let's say he grew up and he hasn't been taught anything. I mean, really, taught how to get out there and fish on his own,
mhm.
he gonna do what a lot of black women do. And I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna, let me take that back. Not a lot of black women, but you got some black women and you got some black men. They got that thing. I'm gonna use what I got to get what I want.
Mhm.
So that man, that one that uh you know with the abs and and he can do all kind of tricks in the bedroom, make you digmatized and all that type of stuff. Not
Uh,
normally that he has honed that skill because that's all he feel he has. And those are the men that the women are trying to make into the man that they need him to be. And you can't re-raise him.
so where is the cheerleader? So then let me ask you a question, Mimi. With being a black woman, a strong, educated black woman who has several businesses that is trying to inspire and promote growth for the black culture, how then do we tell these black men and these black women that it's okay to stay within your race and date and still find happiness? That you don't have to leave the race to find to be kept, because a lot of women, and this is the conversation that I had on Friday, and I'm going to go back and say what happened. So I was speaking to Deja, who is an openly transgendered woman, and so she was saying that she had a problem with dating some black men. She loves black men. However, the issue with dating most black men, she has found, is that oftentimes when she dates a black man, they won't take her around family.
Right.
They choose to take her, to they may go eat, but it's not going to be in a big restaurant that she would like to go into. It's going to be in some private setting to where they're really, really not happy, or they're really, really not
They hide.
promoting who she is,
They hide
but then,
because in our culture we not that evolved yet.
is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. We're
So, but
not.
then, when she takes a white man, when she dates a white man, he will take her out and about, to walk in the mall with him, want to grab her by the hand and do things of that nature. But then, and the black man won't do that. But then when they get home, you can't stop the black man from trying to sleep with her. You can't stop the black man from wanting to be with her sexually. But then the white man,
Tell you
there's no
something.
problem.
Because we are vision, we are very big on appearances. Our culture is very big on appearances. Let me tell you something. I'll go one further. I've dealt with it in the past. Being a
Really?
large woman. Yeah, you got men, they love me in private, but I'm not acceptable to their friends because a lot of men, they pick a woman that their friends are going to approve of. They want something on their arm that's going to make their friends envious, you
Mm.
know. So it's normally the Coke bottle, what they call the dime piece. But it was up to me to
I
accept
agree.
that. I wouldn't accept that, but it's a lot of women that do because they just want attention from a man. But yeah, I've been and I mean, of course, I can't put myself in her shoes at all because hers is a whole nother issue. And I mean, she's strong because I don't think I could have done it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've dealt with that on some level where, back in the day when men they were like, they want to take me all the way out. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, look, if you if you are ashamed to have me in your arm, we ain't going in the house neither. It is, this is what it is.
We're not going to the house. I mean, I've dated. So I've experienced dating a black man back in the day, and this black man, because of society, we had to hide everything, and we were in a full relationship for 4 years, off and on. And so being in this relationship with him for 4 years, off and on, the thing about it was we could never go anywhere. He would either have to pick up dinner and bring it home, or I would have to sneak over to his house late at night. Um, we definitely couldn't talk to each other in church because then he felt like somebody would pick up on who we were together, or things of that nature. If we did go to the movies, he had to drive his car, I had to drive my car, and then he buy a ticket, I buy a ticket, and we'd meet in the movie theater. It was, and looking back on it now,
Yeah.
I feel like it's so stupid. It is so stupid and so dumb that I subjected myself to that kind of love, or that kind of wanting to be accepted in a community that will never really truly accept me for who I am. So then I need to go ahead and just live in my truth. And
Yeah.
so the thing with dating a white man, because I tried to date a white man, I found that he couldn't. The one particular white man that I dated, that I was trying to build something with, he couldn't accept the fact that I was a successful black man.
Oh,
That was back in the day. He couldn't accept the fact that I already had a home. I built a home myself, that I drove a nice car, and that I had adopted. No, I hadn't adopted the boys yet, but I was getting ready to adopt children. And so I think that he wanted one up on me. He wanted me to feel kept by him, but I was already keeping myself.
yeah.
And so since then, I've never opened up the door for a white man. I've never even looked at that. And I think it was because of the experience that I had with a white man from him. That's not to say that now I wouldn't date a white man. I don't know, because I don't get approached by white men like that. Maybe it's the locks, maybe it's my blackness, maybe it's that the way I carry myself. I don't know what
You
it
know
is.
what I will say is this. Mm. It's a cultural thing on both sides.
It is.
Because while we are taught to be strong and independent,
Mm-hmm.
white women are taught to be kept.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see, while the black woman is getting out here and she has options, and she can go and get her own house and her own businesses and cars and everything. The white woman is taught to be the cheerleader, be the backdrop for that husband, and and get him to go out and get all of that stuff for her. So, I mean, it's pros and cons to both.
There, so Monica says white men are taught to keep their partner, male or female. Monica and I had a conversation earlier, and she went so far as to say, you know what? She said this is a cultural thing, and she said she doesn't. She says I don't care what type of woman you date. I don't care if. Um, well, what she said was, if I don't care what white woman a black man dates, she will never understand the struggle of a black.
Absolutely not. I've said, but we've had that conversation.
Yeah, she says she will
And I
never
told my
understand the
son,
struggle of a black man because there's such type of privilege that the white household has
yeah,
that they can't relate to the black household. And
yeah.
Joellen says nope, she's white. And what's up, Joellen? And Joellen says nope. So I'm assuming that she agrees with Monica. Um, the thing with being black. And I explained this to the ladies in the salon on Saturday because I really got Friday. I really got offended because they were saying, "Well, black men don't do this. Black men don't do this. Black men don't do this." And I came back with, "Well, what are you doing as a black woman to motivate
But
the
it's
black?"
not, it's the black men that they're choosing. What they
And
remember that saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. If it ain't there, it's not there.
and I really don't even think that it has to do with being a whore or
No,
anything.
I'm not saying a
I know
whole,
what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
saying, you can't make something out of something that's not there.
But then my thing is too, like I was explaining to Deja, and she was just like, I said, so where are the cheerleaders? It's not that we just only want you to cheer us on in the bedroom. Oh, he did that. He put it down. He put it down. But what about
Let
what?
me tell you something. No, we are out here, but it's just like it's your circle. Just like it's black men that say that black women put them down. They not around the right black women. Just like the black women that say they no good black men, they ain't around the right black men. Sometimes you have to change your circle. You got to change. You have to adjust your environment.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And then I also come back to the point of saying, why can we not help a black man get to where he's trying to get to? You know,
But that's the thing. I will. I'm one of them, and I have.
okay.
I definitely have. When I see now, the thing is, you have to want it for yourself as well.
Mhm.
I can't want more for you than you want for yourself. Because I always tell folks, you got to participate in your own rescue.
Right.
Now
Right.
I'll say this, and this is prime example. And I'm so proud of my little cousin, Charmaine. And you know, her dude that she's with, he's this is her first love, you know.
Mhm.
He did a lot of
Don't like
time.
him, I hope, man.
But
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
he's out now. He's doing everything he's supposed to do, and so, but he's open to like what I need to do. He's open to, okay, I don't know this, teach me, you know. And but he's all man, but
Mm.
it's just he has just been away and not in society. But she's they building, that's prime example. When I tell you she hold him down and he
Mhm.
hold her down in such a way, and I love it because it's a mutual love and respect. It's not no, you know, and he don't even, and the thing is, and I know, and not putting his business out, but I already know because he's fresh out, you know, and working and stuff. He not making what she making. He don't have what she have, but he's still a man, and he still give her what he got. He still, you know, like teach me, help me, you know, and he do stuff for her as well. So it's actually, it's a lot of couples out here like that. It's a lot of black women out here that will hold a black man down, but you gotta do your part as well. You can't
Oh,
just be fucking up and fucking up and fucking up, and then I'm coming and keep saving your ass. That it's not that. You have to want it, and I'm gonna build with you. So it's a lot of us out here.
so we missed a couple of comments, but there was one comment from Angela Graham that I remember. It stayed stuck in my head. And she says, I'm a cheerleader for my husband and everyone else. If you don't cheer for everyone, you normally don't cheer for anyone. That's deep right there.
Yes, that's
You have
true.
that's so true that you have to be a cheerleader for everyone. And I
And
know a
she
lot of
definitely is. I will say that.
is. And
Yeah,
I love Angela. I love Miss Angela. I
you
do.
can't not. I do too.
I mean, she's just been real since day one that
Yep.
I know her. Now, Monica says some black women don't know how to cheer without throwing it up. I agree with you. And I'm going to come back to that statement, but I wanted to go to what Marcia said. Marcia said, it's not that
One
one. There was
statement.
another. Who says, a lot of women have negative opinions because of bad experience that they may have had. Unfortunately, they take that negative experience into the next relationship, or they generalize to say all black men are losers and there are no good black men. And it's because of the experience and the fact that they haven't been able to let it go. I totally agree with you.
That goes on both sides, though.
It does go on both sides because you'll often
Both
find that a black man will leave a black woman and go to a white woman and will never return. And a
Yeah.
lot of times that comes back from how they were raised, them still being angry with their mothers, them still being angry or envious of what they did not grow up having because they feel like that the black woman was never able to give it to them. And so I think a lot of it comes from envy and a desire to be accepted because that let's just be honest, being white in
It's a
society is
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Being white is right. And so by you being black, if you have the white, or if you're on a white person's arm, then you then have arrived. I know a lot of black women that feel like that they have arrived because they married a white man or they're dating a black man. I mean a white man. And which is not the case. I don't down anybody for dating whoever you want to
Right
date.
there,
That's
that is, to me, that is that is, you have issues, and you've been conditioned, um terribly conditioned. That's it's just that's just wrong, foul thinking. It just
you
is.
know, I
I
walked
mean,
into
but
a
the thing is,
restaurant.
huh?
I walked into a restaurant a couple of weeks ago on my lunch
Mhm.
hour. And there was a black woman there, and she had a Louis Vuitton purse.
Yeah.
She had biracial children, so I automatically associated her being with a white man. Very well articulate. She was really, really pronouncing her words properly.
Right.
Very, very to do. But then I looked at her hair, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, you one of them. You forget that you need some help.
Um,
You need to
she
go
does,
to."
but unfortunately, we do have, and I'm not, and I'm just speaking because this is what it is, and we keep it 100 on this platform. You have a lot of us that have self hate.
We
We don't
do.
want to be who we are, so we try to be. You see, it's a series on Prime called Them. I urge everybody to watch that because that's exactly what we're talking about. It was basically the premise of the show was it was this black family from the Great Migration of the 50s with all of the blacks were
No,
coming
I
up.
can't watch it
Why?
because it just it
You
like
can't watch it yet, but I'm gonna tell you why you need to. This is because basically they put in a little sci-fi thing. I mean, it was a lot of truth racially, a lot of things that actually happened. But they put a little sci-fi twist on it because they were showing how the black people, how we different experiences that we have come up with, how
mm-hmm,
we have developed those demons.
mm,
And one of the girls wanted to be white. She literally went and painted herself white. Her demon was this little white girl. She was real eerie, but it was her, little white girl, puffy cheeks and the pigtail, the ponytail. But she was, she just wanted to be accepted by all of these white kids, and she was a dark skin. Well, it was good, Kim. She was a dark skinned black girl, and she saw her mother, the strength that her mother possessed because her mother was raped, her baby was killed in front of her, by these white folks. And of course, when that happens, you have to process and you go through some stuff. But the girls were looking at their mother and was like, because she had gone through that, even though she came through it and persevered, like most black women do, because we have a strength that nobody can deny. We really do. But the mother persevered, but the daughters was like, she's just like, I don't want to be like mommy. We're not ever going to be like
mm.
mommy. And she wanted to be white. And you have a lot of us that have our brains are sick because we've been
They
conditioned.
sick.
That's what it is. When you can't love the skin that you in, because you're gonna be with you a long ass time.
Mm-hmm,
When you can't accept this here, and this is what you were born in, because God don't make no mistake.
mm-hmm.
Um, when you are not comfortable in your skin, and you want to be something other than who you are, and I'm talking about racially,
Mm-hmm.
that is it's sad, but it's a lot of us that are conditioned that way.
I mean, I hear you. I really, really do. And so
Mhm,
this black woman that needed some help with her hair
mhm,
she was with a white lady. And the white lady had so I'm this is the narrative that I created in my head for them that they were like lunching, and we
yeah,
brought our daughters out and we're lunching. And so I see this black woman who definitely needed a perm or needed a blowout or whatever she needed. She needed to comb her hair first and foremost. But she had this Louis Vuitton purse, and I was with Kim that day, and she was sitting up there. She was downing people that carried Michael Kors purses. And she's just like, I just can't believe they carry Michael Kors. I would never, I wouldn't even buy my daughter one of these and all this. And I'm just like, a purse? You sitting over here downing people because her purse, and I automatically went to this place. And so I was just like telling Kim, I was like, this bitch done lost her mind. Here it is. She can't even comb my hair. Didn't even comb the daughter's hair. And you talking about carrying a Michael Kors purse just because you feel like you've arrived because you got a Louis Vuitton?
because that's not
Girl,
because
bye.
but just think about it. Our people, Rich, let me tell you something. And this is a classism, what I'm about to talk to now. This ain't even race. Rich people stay rich because they act poor. And poor people stay poor because they try to act rich. So you got all and is typically our people because we have come from a place where we only did was survive. We weren't allowed to do a lot of things. So now we have to prove to them, and I'm saying them because them is
The rich
representative
people,
of
the
of
well-to-do.
white America. Yeah, we have to do what they are doing. So they've always been able to get the big houses and the night the mink coats and the labels, you know. So that is the thing is when you have that because you can't just go scream, I make this amount of money, I'm doing well. You can't just go do that. So what do? I see it all the time in our culture. I get so sick of seeing red bottoms. There's so many other designers out here. But black women in particular will go and buy them red bottoms just because everybody knows what that red bottom means. That's expensive. And they go and make sure when they sitting down, everybody can see the bottom of that damn shoe. Or they go and won't just buy a nice leather bag and I have designer bags, but I have non-designer stuff too. I get what I like. I like quality. So you have some that will, they're only going to buy labels because people know. People know. Everybody pretty much knows who Louis Vuitton is. Everybody knows who Gucci is. So
Hmm.
they buy those. Those are for appearances. Those are pieces to let you know I have arrived. I'm here. I can be where you are. I can sit where you sit.
Uh-huh.
And we constantly trying to prove to other people that don't care
So
that we
I
have arrived. And a
I
lot of us really can't afford to be there.
so
A lot of us need to act our wage.
right. So
Yeah,
I will be the first to say that Lamont loves Louis Vuitton. I have
but you
plenty
can
of
afford it.
it. So listen. This is the thing with Lamont. I
Uh-huh.
don't mind. I don't mind shopping at a thrift store. My friends, those that are closest to me, know Lamont will tear up a thrift store. I love thrift shopping.
Right.
Those that know me know that I can shop anywhere and be happy, and I don't always have to wear a label. My kids have been conditioned. Um, our kids have been conditioned to where we can go in Walmart. You better go over there and find you something that you want out of this store today because it's the only store we go into, and you better make it work. Yes,
Honey,
she
I
said
got my kids
okay.
so excited that they get excited about hand-me-downs. And I'm like, this was so
Right,
hot.
right. I
They
mean,
said,
and
my
so
son used to say, he said, that's a nice shirt Emil got on. I said, next year it's gonna be yours.
right.
Don't take care
Um,
of it. Yeah, you got to. Hey, I don't do
it's a
nothing I
shame that we
can't
don't
prove I
realize
can
how
do.
we allow labels to shame us, name us, blame us, and otherwise control our lives. You're absolutely right, Joella.
Absolutely right.
We do
Yeah.
that. And so which causes us to want to have to step up and try to marry up and do things. Here's Kim. Yep, we do savings on a regular. Listen, Kim got money. Kim and
Mhm.
I, we go to Savers. Savers is a thrift store next door to the job
Yeah.
at least twice a week. At least twice a week. I'm
Honey,
like, girl, you better get this.
let
You
me
better
tell
get
you
this.
something. I didn't do it for my kids, but I did it for myself.
Mhm.
I did. Because I would tell anybody in a minute. I said somebody paid a lot of money for it. It just wasn't me.
I mean, so I've learned how to make my money work for me. I've learned how to make my money work for me. And moving here when I did not have a job,
Yeah.
and being married and going off of one income, I remember one time that we got down to one package of meat in the freezer. I will never forget that. We got down to one package of meat, and it was just so happened, and I will never forget this, that I received a check in the mail from Stephanie Hill from Lubbock, Texas, a woman that invested in me in a long time ago. And she just simply said, I thought about you today, so I dropped you something in the mail. She's married to a doctor, Dr. Hill's wife. And so that check, that $400, helped my family live for a whole nother month. And
Yeah,
and people don't understand that sometimes you have to give back. You have to
yeah,
give back. You have to pay it forward. You have to help others get to where you're trying to get to. So that's why I always say it's good. It's good to be a cheerleader for people. It's good to help people. It's good people to thought if you really love a brand, buy stock in it instead of giving them your money. You know what, Joella?
that's what I do. Well, see, that's what
You
I'm
know what,
teaching my.
Joella? You in my business, girl.
But let me tell you something. My boys, because I am a single mom, and I said I'm going to do for my boys
Mhm.
what wasn't done for me, because my boys are black men and they are going to be men. They're not going to be no little boys. They're going to, I'm teaching them to be responsible, to, to live within your means, to make your money stretch. You can look good and not have to break the bank. You can, and that's what we do. We buy, we buy, I'm teaching them how to invest, how to save,
Mhm. Mhm.
all
Yeah,
of those things,
definitely.
because that's what, as a people, that's what we have not been taught. And that's why we go and do this same sad cycle of being broke, trying to look rich to impress other broke people, which makes
Listen.
no damn sense to me whatsoever. But that's what a lot of times, that's what our people do.
And
And I
so,
remember,
do you think that that's the reason why we try to marry up? That we find. Let me say this.
let me tell
So,
you, I was just talking about this yesterday when I
okay.
was with the gay men.
Hmm.
So we were there. It was, and at the last cookout, it was a bunch of there was the old queens there. Okay. So we were talking about, I don't know how we got on Housewives, and because my favorite is Kenya. I know nobody likes her, but I understand her in a way. I understand her in a way that nobody else does. I just do. So, but a lot of times, because black girls are mean to other pretty black girls. They are. It's
They are.
sad, but we do it. See, I can appreciate beauty. Well, if somebody is gonna put their stuff on, look good, damn it, I'm gonna tell you, because I know, I know what it takes when you getting yourself together and you done spent a few extra minutes in that mirror getting that mug right. But we were talking about, they was talking about, well, certain ones she finally married up and is actually a housewife and this and that. And I told him, and this is something I really believe. Now you actually have people that really do still believe in the sanctity of marriage. That's how they were brought up.
Hmm.
But most people that I see now that are getting married, the majority, they can't afford stuff on their own. So instead of them just going to get that nice townhouse, they want that $800,000 house, but they can't get it on their salary. So they go and they find somebody that they can buy some stuff with, so they can perpetrate together. And unfortunately, that's people don't like to talk about that, but that's the real truth. Because you
So do
got a
you
lot of
think
people
that's why?
staying in, huh?
So do you think that's why black women, most that the black women that are dating white men are dating white men?
Well, financial gain, absolutely.
And what do you think that the black men are doing? Why are they dating white women?
A lot of them do the same thing.
So
But
my
it's a different game. See, some of them they'll get the white woman on their arm because it's a trophy piece, but she can get him in the doors that his skin normally couldn't get into by himself.
now I definitely agree with that. And so I often tell people that don't know my first name, Henry.
Hmm.
When I want to conduct business or if I want to get the attention of a bank or something like that, I'm Henry. My name is Henry Ford. But then if it's just a situation to where I really, really don't care, I'm Lamont. I'm Lamont Ford. Lamont is very black. Um, but Henry, it kind of makes you wonder who is
Henry is
Henry?
black too.
Huh? Henry
Henry
is
is black
black.
too.
It
Yeah.
not as black.
Henry is
Henry
old black.
Oh no, 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 no. Henry,
You
if I
know?
call a place and say this is Henry Ford, I would like for somebody to call me back. Henry Ford can get you places that Lamont can't. For some
But
reason.
see, I haven't had that issue because I make sure that I'm Malika on all of my shit, and that good credit score get me whatever I need to get. So
Oh,
I made it. What I did was I made it where my name don't matter because if you want this sale, you gonna get it. You gonna welcome me in because I got good credit and you know I'm gonna pay my shit.
Donnell says, listen, my resume is popping when I use my government name. So can I say your government name, Donnell? Um, so let me so this is a you brought up something that I wanted to go back to, Mimi.
Hmm.
You said that by you being I'm trying to think of the right word because I ain't trying to
You are
offend
bigger.
nobody. I ain't trying to offend nobody tonight. Um,
What big girl? Is that what you say?
can we say big girl?
That I just said it.
Okay, so by you being a big girl,
Yeah.
do you find it offensive that you see these black men that leave black women and go get a big white girl?
No, because that ain't the one I want to know damn way. I will say this, and it has nothing to do with size. And I will be totally honest with this. I have been offended when I see a black man. When I hear black men say that I'm going, that black women ain't no good. I'm going to find me a white woman because that's a lie from the pits of hell.
You
And I
better
have
call it
men
from the pits of hell
always
tonight.
from the yes. But what I have found because my brother has a white girlfriend, and the thing is, he would never tolerate a black woman doing what this white girl do. Right? She's not educated. She's not. I mean, she just a regular chick. But they struggling. She won't work. She won't do. Yeah, it's a whole situation. And she think my mama don't like her because she white. My mama don't like her because she lazy. And she looking at her like most black folks would look like, you got a daughter and y'all like you don't want more for her? Like you won't get up and do like you got back problems? We don't as black people. Let me tell you this real quick. Just a pause on what we're talking about. We don't have time to make excuses. When something need to be done, you ain't got time to be sick. Or like when I went through my cancer treatment, I went through 9 surgeries in 1 year. And in between them surgeries, I still got my ass up and I came to work. I had drains on me at work. Because we do what we have to do. I wish I could have done stuff differently, but that wasn't my
I have two done now.
yeah, I wasn't able to do that. But you have, and I think that's where a lot of us have the problem with white women, because you have that privilege. It ain't her fault that she got the privilege neither. However, we don't like because we don't have that option.
We
And we deem it it's like especially when something like with this situation and this is just with my brother and his girlfriend. Like you need to do it. You need a job. And if you you need to do something I'm just saying, do something home based, stuff some envelopes, send out, secret shopper, do something. But that's the piece that we don't that we a lot of us can't get past. And I'm just like, why is it okay for her?
but
But
it's
when
not
you
okay
have a
for you.
black woman, you hold us up to a whole nother standard.
So then why do we do that? Why
Why
does a
do
man?
we?
Because your
Why?
brother, um,
But he has.
your-
But see, the thing is, what I was about to say. Most black men that go with white women have mommy issues.
is that how you
Serious,
believe?
deep root, absolutely. And the ones that I know that only deal with white women, they got mommy
We've
issues.
had this conversation before about
Mhm.
mommy issues with black men and
Yeah,
daddy
because the
issues with
mother
black
she
women.
was too aggressive, too strong. They go for the complete opposite.
More
And
passive.
I'm not gonna say, because I know it's some kick ass white women out here. I don't know a whole lot of them, but I know about two. But I don't have a lot of white friends, but I can say that. I have a couple, and the
Mhm.
ones I have, they are really good folk. They hardworking folk. But from what I have seen, because I deal with folks with a lot of money and privilege and entitlements, a lot of them, they're just used to being put up on a pedestal and handed everything that they want. So they have the luxury of being passive and being a cheerleader. We got to pay the other half of that damn mortgage. And like, we want to cheer you on, like we cheer, like we love your ass, but sometimes we too damn tired to rub your feet and have tell you, baby, you are the greatest thing since air. We don't a lot of times we spend it. Ain't that we don't mean it, but we
So
don't have the luxury of that.
you don't have the luxury of it. But then here's the question. Here's a
What?
bigger question. Why do we not put the story that I got from this particular female? She had
Mm-hmm.
stated that her dad was a go-getter. Her daddy, she came from money. She came from money. And so her daddy taught her, black man, taught her that whoever you date needs to be on my level. They need to treat you like I treat you. They need to be able to do what I do for you. So she couldn't find it in any of the black men that she was associating herself with. So she went outside that and found a white man that was able to do all those things for her.
Yeah.
And so she based on her happiness on what her daddy said happiness should look like. Um, it
She was conditioned.
She was conditioned, which we all have conditioned our minds in saying that white is right.
But
We
we all
all,
don't think that.
we all think
Some
that.
of us feel that way, and that's where that whole them, we want to be
Yes,
like
Courtney, your man
them.
has. I know about your man. Courtney says, I'm in a relationship with a white man now, and he has treated me like a queen from day one. And he really, really has.
And
And
that's a
she had
beautiful
dated
thing,
black
but
men
you got to
prior
be
too.
careful. You got to be careful too. There's some white boys out here that they have this jungle fantasy. They want to see that what a black if a black woman feel different from a white woman, or they'll screw you just like they will. I'm not even being crass. This is just real talk. They'll
It
screw
is.
you like they will a big girl in private, or a tranny in private, or not a tranny. I'm sorry, because
Right.
I'm not the right word. I just
Transgender.
a transgender woman.
I'm
They'll do
proud of
that.
you, Mimi.
Well, thank you.
I'm really, really proud of you trying
I'm
to
not
use the right
malicious.
word.
I am very blunt, but if I try my hardest to not offend, because I don't want to offend anybody, you know. Um,
Mhm.
but they will take that transgender woman and or the big girl or whatever in private. Yeah, because it's normally it's a lot of times it's a sexual thing for them. So black women have to be careful of that label, thinking that white is right. And he gonna dog you out just like you got some white men that dog you out just like a black man would. But
But
that's
we,
because but that's the thing. That's a character issue. It's not a color issue.
but you know what? We have put the color white as being so
But
clean,
that's
and
what we've been
pure.
taught
We
from the
have.
beginning of time. If you look at in the old black and white movies, the villains always wore what? Black.
And the
Always.
woman were
And
right.
we was taught that black was wrong. Black is powerful, but black is not wrong. But that's what we've been taught. And
And
we've been conditioned that way. And a lot of times, like with Deja, the white men will they will take her out in public because it's certain rules that apply to them that don't it don't apply to us.
right.
We can't
Monica
do
says, I saw this clip of a white talking about them storming the Capitol, but he was married to a black and spoke so highly about how opposites attract. Okay. Courtney says, all my life I've dated black men. I've had my reservation at first because when I dated outside my race, it was because they never been with a black woman, but he showed me something different. All right, Courtney, he showed you something different. I mean, and I don't think that there's
that.
anything. Tyler says black is beautiful. Monica says true. I don't think there's anything wrong with dating outside your race. I want that to be clear.
But
But I think if you're
that's
dating
what
for
I
the
said.
wrong reasons outside
That's
your
a
race,
personal
that
issue. Yeah.
that that's a whole nother issue. If you're dating white and you're a black woman or a black man and you're only dating for a come up, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
If you are white and you're dating black just to help them out, or you want to bring them up, or you want to show society that you're accepting and that you're not racist, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think that love can find love. Love is colorblind. I think that you can be in love with anybody and be happy. It is a personal choice, Kim. I totally agree. I think that, but we as people have conditioned people to think that you have to marry this way to come up, or even with our black women and black men, we've gotten to the point now that if they don't make a certain amount of money, I ain't talking to them. The question was posed.
I joke a lot about that, but
Mhm,
I've always been one. Because I'm just a woman. I'm a ballsy chick. I'm just not conditioned to take shit.
mhm,
I don't do that well.
mhm,
So I've always had my own, period. I've always, and that's how my dad taught me. Like I was raised very well. My parents weren't rich, but we were considered,
middle
upper middle class.
class.
They made very good money.
Mhm,
So we didn't, I went to college and everything, house my whole life. We had a good life. So,
mhm.
but I was taught, okay, you want to keep these things, you're going to have to work for them yourself.
You got to work, boo.
And
You got
that's
to
what I
work.
do. And me personally, and I'm a lot like my dad, I don't like asking nobody for nothing.
Mhm.
I do not. And that's why I hustle as hard as I do. Folks be like, you got all these jobs. I said, yeah,
You
it's in
got about
scripture.
8 jobs, Mimi.
I do, but it's in scripture. I done wrote it down. It said you're supposed to have at least 7 to 8 streams of income. That's in scripture. The word said it. I didn't say it.
Where is it
I
at in the
didn't
word?
even know I was actually following scripture, but I was.
Where is it at in the word? Show it to me.
But see, I got to get up and get it.
Just text it to me tonight. I
Okay,
want
I
to.
went because I actually I have the scripture in my little book that I use every day. I wrote the actual scripture out.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Mimi.
Yeah, I know, but no, it's actually, So, but I want to show my kids. That's what I want to teach them. It's never you. It's so many legitimate ways
I've
to
asked
make.
you this question before, and I'm gonna ask you again. Can one of your
Mhm.
sons bring home a white woman?
I wouldn't like it, but I would deal with it because that's
Why
my
would
son.
you deal with it?
Because I don't want to lose my son.
Okay,
And he
so
probably
then
has
with
kids,
them,
and I'm not gonna shun my grandchildren. Is that my preference? Absolutely not.
okay.
Absolutely not. Because for me, and this is just how I feel, because I love up on my boys and I've shown them a strength and I've shown them my character. And me personally, this is just me talking. I don't believe there's a white woman on this planet that possesses the type of strength that I have.
You said that
I,
before.
and I really believe that. So for me, if they did bring home a white woman, um, that would offend me on a level because I would think that I was they thought that I wasn't good enough.
So are you then now? Let me ask you a question now because they probably have heard you say this. Are you then conditioning them to tell them that they can't look at white
I
for
don't do
love?
that. I don't do that. I work hard in not doing that.
So, but
Just
if
like
they
I've never
hear
said
you,
anything negative about their dad. I don't do that whole if they can't use your comb, don't bring them home. I don't do
I ain't heard that in years.
that.
But the people used to say that. You know, if
Yeah.
you can use your comb, then don't bring them home. What's the other one? It was another one
And
that
it
used
would be just like, I mean, honestly, it would be just like if one of my sons were gay. I can't, that's not the life that I chose for them, but I'm not living the life that my parents chose for me either. So,
Kim says, I was taught that as well. It was hard for me to marry a military man that I had to follow around and depend on. I almost left my marriage for that reason. I had to make a hard decision. I get that. I get that. Kim, I get you. I hear you. So my question for you, Kim, is what caused you to shift to be that dependent woman? But I really still don't see you as being a dependent woman because every time that you went someplace, you picked up a craft. I didn't know that Kim worked at a bank. Kim has been a dental hygienist. Kim is now the admissions clerk. So it's like that she
Kim been a helpmate to her husband,
right,
and that's how we was taught
right.
that
It's
you
like you
can't.
reinvent
Like,
yourself
okay, you gotta
every
help
time.
this brother out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I get that. I think that, I too was taught that way. And I know that I speak about this a lot, moving to this area, coming from being successful in Lubbock, Texas, and having my own salon, my own home, adopting boys on my own, living a good life, and then moving here and having to depend on a black man, and depending off of one income and trying to make it, and then moving to this area that I had no idea it cost $550,000 for a house. That was the beginning price of a house that we moved into. It was like $400,000-$500,000, and so
That's
moving
what you
here,
was used to. Y'all could have got something smaller, but it's the level of living that you're accustomed to.
right. And
Yeah.
so then moving here, not knowing this area and having to depend off of one income, I often go back to that one package of pork chops that we had in the freezer. And it wasn't because we were living above our means. It was because that was the time that we had the first furlough, back in 2013, 2014, when they had the first government furlough.
It's just
And
life happens. Yeah.
and it was just like, oh my God. So you mean to tell me we about to be in the streets? We about to do this. So it was hard for me to learn to depend on this black man, but I never was that person because in the beginning I was told I didn't have to work, but I've always worked. So when I got here, it was just like, okay, so let me get on my hustle. Let me get this job. Let me find this. Let me find this. Let me do this. Let me do this, and still try to hold down a household and still be that supportive helpmate that I knew how to be, that I've been taught to be, but yet still try to thrive to get us ahead to do what I needed to do. Being married to a black man is a hard thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, and for females, you understand that being married to a black man is a hard thing. Me being a black man understands that it's hard marrying one of me. It's hard because being black is hard already.
You
Being a
ain't
black
lying.
man is extremely hard, but being a dark-skinned black man is even harder. And then you add being gay on top of that, that makes it extra harder. And so we're always fighting in a society to get ahead. So then it really hurts me to see that we have our own race putting us down, telling us we're not good enough. Especially when I hear
But we're
black.
only doing what we've been taught. That's what
Right.
I need folks to remember. We have been conditioned like this for hundreds of years. So it's going to, I mean, we waking up now. It's going to take some time for us to start loving up on ourselves and then each other. It's going to
So
take
then,
time.
so
Some of
then,
us is easier than others.
so now, now we have to start conditioning our children to
Yeah.
understand that it's okay to be black. You don't have to become this professional basketball player and then go get you a white woman because you've seen everybody else do it.
No.
You can find a black woman to love. You can find them. You can find one. But if you choose to date outside your race, then
What
do
I
that. But you don't do
what
it
I
just
hate
because everybody
though
says it's okay.
is them saying that black women are ratchet. We not. Ratchet don't have no collar.
It
It
does.
don't.
It does
No.
not. It does not.
Actually, I think that black women are more conservative than anybody else. Yeah.
Mm,
That
I
why you think it's
think
so hard for the gays to be accepted? Church folk, very conservative, extremely.
yeah,
We are not as liberal and advanced as we like to think we are.
I agree. And I
Yeah.
hate to hear that all blacks are on food stamps. I hate to hear that all black people get government
I mean, because
assistance.
the thing is, the stats don't lie. Anybody, I urge you to go look it up. It's more white people on
You
food
know,
stamps.
Monica brought that up tonight.
That's
We
the
were having a
largest
conversation.
number.
Right. We were having a conversation tonight about that earlier today. And she mentioned, there's more white people that are get government assistance that are signing up for the home programs and things of that. That it's it's sad that the whole Black culture is put into one melting pot to say that we're all getting this, when in all actuality we're not. And
But,
they
I mean, but we even do that to ourselves. When we got that one black one that then made it in front of mainstream, and then we put everything on their back to represent and do everything for all black people everywhere. That's not fair either.
Christy Carter says, she says, white supremacy isn't the shark, it's the water. We're all swimming in it. How do you feel about that, Mimi?
No, white supremacy is the shark.
Do you?
And
Do you
we
feel
in
like
shark
that?
infested waters. Absolutely, yes, we are. No, we're gonna call a thing a thing.
So
But see,
you
this is the
don't believe,
difference. See, right now, and see, that's a whole nother show. Now it is some good, it's a lot of good white folks. And we wouldn't have been able to get where we are now without good white folks. Because if you look at, we needed that help during that when we had the Underground Railroad. We had to have white abolitionists, to
mhm.
help us along. So I'm not saying that all whites are bad. I'm not saying that at all. But the thing is, the hoods are off, and they have been. We've only been focusing on the police, but we got the white supremacist judges, lawyers, and doctors. So just imagine you have that black somebody coming there with that gunshot wound, and you unconscious, and this person got to save your life or let you die. So it's the problem is it's no it's that's a real thing. We can't say that
So
racism. No,
no, no,
that
no.
that's a real that white supremacy is still a real that's a
So
real monster here.
white supremacy, I think that anytime that we say we put a color in front of supremacy, it becomes a problem for me. Because what you're saying is that white is superior over everything else. And I don't, I guess I need to understand what Christy is saying before I respond, because I just don't, because she
I
said
think I
white,
know what she's saying, but you can ask because that show because you know her.
she said white supremacy isn't the shark, it's the water. We're all swimming in it. So
But the water ain't dangerous. It's the sharks in the
the
water that are.
water is dangerous, Mimi.
The water,
You don't
no.
know how to swim in the water.
Let
If
me
you
tell
don't
you
know how to
something. If
swim,
if 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 you can swim, the water ain't dangerous.
that's deep. That's another show.
Yeah.
That's another
But
show.
shark infested waters are dangerous.
I mean that white
And
supremacy.
we don't want to swim in shark infested waters, but we don't have the choice.
Christy, she says, I mean that white supremacy colors everything.
But it does. She right with that.
Okay. So then, I don't know. I
What?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You like the this the thing, and this is a beautiful thing about you because you do try to find the good in everything. You do.
I get it from my mom,
And
and it's her
honestly,
birthday today.
and
I
it's
get it from
yeah,
my
happy
mom.
birthday, mother. I know I saw that. And that's a beautiful thing that you are such an optimist. I'm a realist. And I would love for it to be a certain way, but I have to deal with what is. And that's what is. I don't like it, but that's what it is.
She said white supremacy leads black people to think that white is better too. That's the water part.
No, no, no. This is the thing. We have been conditioned, and it's not the racism is not most of the time it's not blatant. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not blatant. But it's in our TV shows when we have, the lily white couple that's happy out in the suburbs skipping along and everything is wonderful. And then you have our because I watch a lot of doctor shows and a lot of lawyer shows. And you got white men with white women, and you got Asian men with Asian women or white women. Okay. Then you got black men with everything except a black woman. That's what I'm saying is the conditioning. People don't even realize it's happening. The last time we had a black man on TV really loving a black woman was the Cosby Show. And now we got what's the little show with Cedric, the entertainer, and the neighborhood. But most of the time, they put a black man with everything except a black woman. So you have those. That is a form of racial conditioning. You already teaching him this ain't what you want.
You know, I did not realize that I had been conditioned until the other day. I was in a meeting with Kim, and I'm gonna put her out there. We were in a meeting, and we were getting ready to get something going at the school, and so I had opted to. She said, "Yes, Mimi, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm meaning. White supremacy is everything. Lack of representation. The coordinated conditioning is the water. There's certainly white supremacists." Okay, okay, I hear you now, Christy. Y'all made it plain for me. I get it. So we were in a meeting, and we were getting ready to do a student event. And so my thing was, I had said that we should do something in June, and I was going to say, let's just do a Mardi Gras in June. Now, in my mind, I had conditioned myself to say we can't do Juneteenth, so let's just go ahead and do a Mardi Gras, which could lead us to, celebrate the black people. Still bring the blacks in there or whatever. And Miss Kim gave me the business. When I tell you Kim gave me the business in this meeting, it got so heated in the meeting, and I was just like, well, Kim, I just don't see it like this. But I do. And I don't know why y'all always want us to suppress who we are. And you don't want us to. We black. You from Texas. You ought to be able to teach us something. And I was just like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Calm down. I mean, she went all the way off. And then she was just like, yeah, this is what you ought to be doing. And I'm just like, Kim, wait, calm down. And she's like, no. And I'm done. And I'm just like, okay. And so we went to my office. She said, you have to understand, I'm very passionate.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about being black.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, here we are. We're in Virginia, and we're teaching at this school. And so I'm just like, Kim, I just didn't think that I could do that. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it if you want to do it. And so then I was just like, well, I didn't know. Stop hollering at me. I didn't know. And she's like, and so when the director came, and she was like, let me ask you a question. And we were all in my office. And she's like, how would you feel if we did something about Juneteenth? When we were on the phone with her. How would you feel like we did something to Juneteenth? She's like, well, that would be fine. Kim jumped out. I see, boom, boom. I told you we can be black here. And I'm just like, you know what? I had to take a step back and say, you know what? I've conditioned myself to say that I don't want to celebrate the culture that we come from. I've conditioned myself to say that we can't do that. Christy says Pampa was totally different upbringing than that. You right, Christy, because in Pampa, and this is what I told Kim, Juneteenth, we had parades. We all came together in the park. We was barbecuing. You had some of my food. I had some of your food. And we had a Juneteenth committee.
A lot of people didn't even realize what Juneteenth was until a few years ago when Blackish did an episode on
it. And that's sad. Because I come from the culture
but our history is not taught in the schools. Because our history, if it's taught properly, it does not paint white in a favorable picture.
Right. And here go Kim. We should not have to suppress our heritage.
No, we should. It's already been stolen. So the little bit we got, we need to celebrate it. Because we really don't know where we come from.
Listen.
Because it's a whole. When I say it's a whole other issue with the folk. My client the other day said, "Well, what she's writing me a check because don't nobody write checks no more. She
I
said, well,
got a
what's
couple
your last
last week.
name now? I said, child, it don't matter. I said, it's one slave. I said, my first slave master's name was Taylor. I said, I married and I took his slave master's name, Duggar, and now I got Phillips. I said, so ain't none of my damn name. I said, but me to cash that daggone check, that's what we gonna do.
So
Because
listen,
we don't know. So honestly, we got a right. We
we
got a
have a
right to
right.
be mad.
You have a right,
But
and
it's a
so
beautiful thing, and a lot of them don't understand. I'm saying them, they don't understand how we can still smile and thrive
mhm,
and succeed with being given less than nothing, and
mhm.
we still find a way to be happy and okay.
We still find a way. So listen, Juneteenth. I'm inviting everybody to come out to Woodbridge, Virginia,
Yeah.
and watch the students put on a production of a hair show or something
Well, I'm
for
bringing drinks for not for everybody because I know y'all in school. I'm gonna have me a drink. I'm just gonna tell you that, Nate. I'm coming. Whoever else wanna have one, they
Maybe
got
I
me a
want
drink.
you to come.
I'll bring
So
some of
I
y'all
mean,
drink.
this is like and I want to tell Kim thank you because that day, the way that she acted in that room, I was just like, okay, okay, girl. And we had
But you know what? Unfortunately, we have to do that to make our voices heard because if you don't, and the folk gonna just walk all over you and just push you to the side. Like we've been. And it's like now we not having it no more.
right. And I
And
was
that's a
like, I
good
don't want her to be mad at
thing.
me. And she was just like, I'm not mad at you. I just get passionate. I
Oh no,
just get passionate about
I
being black.
totally understand where she coming from because I get like that as well. I
I mean,
totally
so
understand.
I get where we are in a movement of being black now. I really, really do. And it makes sense. And it's sad that these last few years of my life, it has really, really stood out. I think that been growing up, I was conditioned. I know I was conditioned. Um, they wanted you had to be the fastest black to be on the track team. You had to be the fastest black to be on the basketball team. There was a whole family. And I love them all. The Nickelberries, they were known for playing basketball. The
Mhm.
Nickelberries and running track. Them Nickelberries, they was out there. The Nickelberries and the Williams boys, they was the ones that they wanted on the basketball team. They wanted them on the football teams. They wanted them to do everything. Those are the names that you really, really heard. There's some other names that I'm probably forgetting, but people did that. I remember our first black cheerleader, in Pampa, Texas. The very first black cheerleader, Tammy Wilburn. She's an attorney now, but it took her to set the stage for Catrice Evans to come behind her, for the Elena Ryans to come behind her, to be able to cheer and to be cheerleaders. Lisa Ellison, all those people that had to grow up as black women to set the standards. I remember my Uncle Bob being the first black economics teacher in high school.
But that's the
And
thing. Why we still gotta have first? It's saying we are
because
still, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That's why I said we have a lot more work to do because
we
we
do.
still got first. We should have it should have been broke. Everything should have been broke through by now.
It should
But
have
we
been.
still
It
got
should have
first.
been.
And
I
folks don't
think
see the
that
problem in that.
I think that and like Christy said, that was back in the 90s. There are so many things that we still have to do as a black community. And I
Yeah.
agree with Kim, that needs to be told. We have to tell our stories. We have to do more. But then also we have to break this conditioning. We have to
First
stir the
thing we
conditioner.
gotta do is heal because we still hurt.
This Debbie is a mess. Put her comment up here. Debbie is a mess. Debbie gets on my nerves. She cannot even imagine seeing a new Caucasian. I hate you.
Me either, Debbie. Me either.
I hate you, Debbie. I'm not going to even indulge in that conversation. Well,
Okay.
go ahead, Mimi.
But no, I said we need to heal. And it's so funny because I keep hearing folks say, but we need to do this, we need to do that. Like we still fighting for rights. I mean, like voting. I'm like, are you kidding me? We still fighting for basic human rights.
We are. But then too, I think this too, what we have to condition our children at home for is to prepare them for the real world. We have
Oh
to
yeah.
prepare our kids for the real world. Some of us as Black people teach our children to frown on Black people that don't have as much as we have. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Well, I have a friend that don't like to be around other blacks.
Oh,
And yeah. And she's dark. There's a lot of and I find and that's the saddest part. But I understand because being a dark skin black.
this girl, Debbie. She talking about probably look like one of them translucent earthworms from off the
No,
trail.
she a
No, no,
darker.
no. She talking about the she talking about Caucasian, the Caucasian piece.
Oh, the she's still on the naked thing. Yeah, yeah. But
Kim
you
said,
have some, dark skinned blacks that have been so abused by
Mhm.
us, not even white folks, by us, because we was taught by them, from way back when we was out on the plantation that the darkest they weren't allowed in the house. So you thought
Yeah,
even you still a damn slave, but you was in the house uh being a slave.
yeah,
But you thought you was better than the ones that was out in the field
the dark
sweating
ones
and,
feel
and
faster.
being,
That's what they used to say.
yeah.
Them
So that's
dark
we yeah,
them darker niggas steal. That's what they
but
used
they
to say. Darker
still
niggas.
they but that's
Yeah.
why they don't that's why a lot of them don't will say I don't like to be around blacks. It's like
Hmm.
and the first thing when I say black is your ass is you don't want to be around no other black. And
So
that's something we say.
we
But I
do.
understand.
We
But
do.
they got to get that conditioning. They have to recondition their minds first. They
Because
got to get off that bus too.
I have conditioned my mind too that like when I'm in stores, certain stores, I
Mhm.
don't open up my bag until I get to the cash register or whatever. It's like I be seeing, I do. You know what? It's because I know that I'm Black. First of all, I'm gay, and the gays, being Black, we already have the stigmatism of stealing. Being gay means that you crafty, and then the other part of that is we just already got a strike against us anyway. When you walk through the door, you already got a strike against us. So I just choose not to open up my bag. But then I have friends that'll dig all in their bags, and I'll be nervous, be like, "Oh, wait, zip your, wait till we get to the. Can you stop? Can you wait? Can you wait?" And be like, "Child, I ain't stealing. So what you scared of?" It's not. It's just that I just don't even want that attention. Kim says, "I grew up in Decatur, Atlanta, Georgia, where blacks made things happen. Straight hustling mentality. You know what?
And that's and Kim, that is most DC people.
Right.
DC is known for we will hustle, and that's why PG County is number one for the most affluent black people in the
Really?
country. Yes, we are.
I didn't know that.
It's
I
fast. Go
didn't.
look it up. Google
So
it.
I didn't know when we first moved here that the area that we lived in was one of the top neighborhoods,
Yeah.
top towns to live in. You know, when we moved in for Black people, and so
It's
now,
Tantalian. It's Woodmore.
hmm
Um, it's a few other. Those are honestly
Fort
those are like the
Washington,
top two
yeah,
because
Fort
there's the one
Washington,
up north, which is
hmm
Woodmore. That's northern PG County, and southern PG County is Tantalian. And
hmm
when you talk about Woodmore North or Tantalian North, that's the real big money.
hmm And so,
Mhm.
learning these things when I moved here, I was just like, oh wow, the Black people are doing it. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
when I first moved here, I was just like, oh my God, it's too Black. It's too Black. It's too Black. But you have to look where I came from. I wasn't used to being around a lot of Black
When I
people.
tell you, I love being around black. I love.
I mean, I love it
No,
now.
when I tell you, you don't understand. Like my same friend, she don't want a vacation with black. I want to go some. I want to be around. I want to see us everywhere I go. I love being a black woman. I mean, I even with everything that come along with this skin, I freaking love it. I really believe that's why we don't age, because God said I got to get in.
Kira say I'm real black now. I am. I
Yeah,
am.
it's like I got to give them something. So that's why they be looking. They 50 years old and be looking like they 25. That's yeah,
So
exactly. That's our little consolation prize.
the takeaway from tonight, takeaway from me. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, you gone?
Okay, so the takeaway for me tonight is the conditioning piece. We all have to condition ourselves to realize that we can be who we want to be and be who we choose to be with. We can be who with whoever we want to be, whether it be race, sex, gender, non-gender identifying. We can be with anybody we want to be. You can be anybody that you want to be in the world. There's no right or wrong. It's what you do with what you have, what makes it right or wrong. Be careful. Be careful for looking for love in the wrong places. Be careful accepting the wrong things. And be careful for not accepting who you truly are. Because once you do those things, then you end up in a relationship or you end up in a situation to where you can truly lose yourself and you can end up being in a place that you can never recover from. So never lose who you are. Remember who you are and remember the life lessons and remember the history that you come from because the history is, you don't want it to repeat itself, but you want to use history to use it for the good to get ahead to see where you need to go. That's my takeaway. Be free to love. Be free to love. And for all of our black men that don't feel like that you're accepted in your sexuality or dating outside of your race and dating, within your race, but however you see it, be free. Be free. Be free on the night to love and do what you need to do to be happy for yourself.
Yeah.
Happiness comes for yourself first. You can't be happy. RuPaul says it. If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? You gotta love yourself. Go, Mimi.
That's true. But my biggest takeaway for tonight, granted, and I understand love doesn't have a color. Um, but you can choose. You can choose who you love. That's just how I feel. Now, me personally, because we have not been loved up on enough. I think that's my mission. I want to make sure that all of us are loved up on and we know how valuable that we are and we know what we have contributed to civilization as we know it. Um, Now, I've raised my boys to be um, compassionate and tolerant of all. What you do is your business, and who you love is your choice. But I want to make sure, and I just want everybody to know out there, if you choose, to fall in love with a white person, Asian, whatever, let it be because that's just who you truly love. Don't do it because black ain't shit. That's because that's not the truth. That's a lie, and we're gonna stop perpetrating this lie right here and right now. I need everybody to heal first before you get in a relationship with anybody. I don't care what color they are. Be a whole person first. Get through your own pain and leave that baggage to the side, and go into whatever this is fresh, loving who you are, knowing who you are, accepting who you are, whatever that may be. And don't tolerate mistreatment from anybody. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are, or if you don't associate with a gender at all. Whatever it is, I want you to demand nothing but the best for yourself. And like I said earlier, character has no color. So don't blame it on nothing else. You do what you feel you need to do for you. And that's it.
All right, y'all. With that being said, follow us. Follow us. Please follow us on Instagram in the chair with Montee and Mimi. Facebook, Montee and MiMi, and YouTube, In the Chair with Montee and MiMi. Share our stories because truly we're trying to help somebody, and we hope that we helped you tonight. And as my daddy said, I'm just trying to hope you. So I'm trying to hope you and get somewhere better. We love you. Happy birthday, mama. She probably ain't watching, but somebody gonna say, girl, I saw them out and they was talking like they be telling on me, y'all. But anyway, happy birthday, mama. I love you.
Happy birthday, mother.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.